Right, let's get straight into a leading story. The Northwest provincial government is hosting a US envoy led by Ambassador to South Africa, Rueben Brigety, II. The US delegation visited some of the projects that the province is implementing with the support of the US Consul General's office. Our reporter Refiloe Seboko joins us now. Refiloe, very good afternoon to you. An important visit for this meeting to happen. Talk to us about why it's so important and really what's at stake.
Good afternoon, Mpo. Like you rightfully say, very important that the newly elected U.S. ambassador, together with the provincial government and the Department of Health and Social Development in the Northwest Province, going to visit this area where the U.S. government keeps on funding. And the importance of this visit by the newly elected U.S. ambassador was explaining to us earlier that it's for them to be able to see for themselves what is it that people of South Africa, people of the Northwest Province are faced with. As right now they are visiting the TB, HIV care, sex worker site in industrial site here in Mahikeng. This is one of the projects that they are funding, or rather the site they are funding, working together with the Department of Health, as MEC Madoda Sambata is also here. But earlier when we spoke to the newly elected US ambassador, he gave us the importance of this and the purpose overall of why they are visiting the Northwest Province, being the first province in South Africa they are visiting. But he did mention that they will be also going to other provinces in South Africa. Let's also listen in to him explaining the purpose of his visit.
I think it's very important, obviously, to engage the government of Pretoria, but it's also very important to get out to know the people of South Africa, as well as to get to know the provincial governments as well. Because while diplomacy often happens at a very high level, the impacts happen on the level of where people live their lives. And so in the spirit of Ubuntu diplomacy, which I've committed myself to here in South Africa, this visit is part of that effort to try to understand and get to know the people of South Africa and where they live, and then connect it with the higher level diplomacy that I do with the government of Pretoria.
And like he also said, that one of the areas that they will be focusing on is the issue of health. Earlier when we spoke to MEC Madoda Sambata, MEC of Health in the Northwest Province, Madoda Sambata was saying it's important that the U.S. ambassador is here so that as the department or the provincial government ask for money to be able to support some of the programs and the project that they have as the province and also as the Department of Health, they should see for themselves where that money is going. And this is what also the newly elected U.S. ambassador touched on in relation to health.
Well, here in Northwest, my goal is to understand both some of the economy and also the people here, both the opportunities and challenges. So I began my tour here out in Rustenburg and also near Marikana, visiting the Sibonye Stillwater mine, and I also had the opportunity to pay my respects at the memorial to those that were killed in Marikana in 2012. Today I had the great opportunity of engaging with students at Northwestern University as a former university professor and administrator myself. It's always a wonderful opportunity to engage young people to talk about issues that affect their future. And then we'll conclude my day today by engaging with colleagues at an HIV clinic, which is which is one of the things that's supported by the U.S. PEPFAR program.
So those were some of the ideas underway, Refiloe, as to why this visit is so important. What's happening at the moment as you and I speak?
What is happening at the moment, that looks like a photo moment there, but the U.S. ambassador Mpo was going around the stalls that are here. Some of the young individuals that are here are entrepreneurs that are also creating. One of the things that they are producing it's with body lotions together with bath soaps. But they did mention to the mayor of Mahikeng local municipality, Mtepiso Mpetlo, together with the newly elected US ambassador to say that they need support in terms of being able to take their entrepreneurial journey forward. And like he said, he's concluding his visit here, but what the engagement that we're here, we also listened in when he was talking to the manager of this site that we are in to say they need assistance in terms of helping TB patients, HIV patients, and also supporting sex workers in terms of their health state, as that also MEC Sambata was saying that it calls for great concern. But he said that they will continue to support the Northwest government, South Africa as a whole. They will continue to support these projects where they will be funding, and they do understand now that when they are sending money for these projects, it's important because of the challenges that they were able to see for themselves on the ground. And what's happening now is the conclusion of this visit, as you see the newly elected US ambassador getting into the car. This is them now leaving the Northwest province. And when he said earlier that he will be visiting other areas, other provinces in South Africa, they are yet to go back to the drawing board to see which province next that they will be visiting. But also the people that were here, they received him very well, together with other officials as well, together with the government officials here in the Northwest province, to say they are very grateful that if they get an opportunity to see those that are funding their projects, those that are in support of their projects, and they are hoping that going forward there will be more support. And that is the conclusion of the program today. We also have Mr. Tshepiso Mpehlo, who is the mayor of Mahikeng local municipality. He said that they presented to the newly elected US ambassador on what is it, some of the projects that they need support of here in Mahikeng local municipality. And they're saying that going forward, they will continue to work in these programs, and they are very also grateful that they continue to get support, financially even, for some of the programs and projects that they have. Also, as the Northwest province as a whole, the provincial government, and as the Mahikeng local municipality.
Well, Refiloe Seboko, let's leave it there for now. Of course, giving us a breakdown of the visit by US Ambassador Rueben Brigety II to the Northwest.